Hey guys, I know it's been a really long time since I did a video. This is Shonda from a growing family of 5. It's been so long, and I know it has. I'm getting a lot of emails and a lot of messages, personal messages. Excuse me, I have a cold too on top of that. Asking where have I been, why did I stop making videos, and I have a lot to catch you up on. So I'm going to try to do this really quickly and probably try to do this all in one video. Okay? I don't want to make it 2 videos. Because I want to introduce you to Bryce, because he's here, obviously, in my next video. So I'm trying to knock everything out in the next couple of videos so I can get back on the ball. Of course, I got notes. The last week, I had to actually look and see when was the last time that I did a video. My next video would have been week 30. And so between week 30 and 34, I can just catch you up really quickly. I gained an enormous amount of weight, and I did a lot of swelling, and I was really uncomfortable. And long story short, I had Bryce 5 weeks early. I gained, mind you, I still had him 5 weeks early. I'd already gained 50 plus pounds, and I was still, like I said, 5 weeks early with him. He came out fine. He was actually 6 pounds, and that early. So he came home with me, of course, the next day. I had him vaginally, and that story was crazy in itself. I went in on April the 5th to my regular doctor's appointment, and everything was fine. The only problem that I did have that particular day is that I told him, you hear that noise, that is Bryce. I'm in his nursery. He's in the crib. I had a little bit of leaking, and I didn't know what that was, so I thought it was just discharge. But anyway, long story short, they told me that no, we think it's amniotic fluid. So then they said, well, we have to check you anyway, this appointment. So let's go on. I got up on the table, check me, and as a matter of fact, I'm sitting up there while he's checking me. I'm sitting up there texting, and he's quiet, and all of a sudden he's like, Shonda. I was like, looking up at my phone. I was like, yeah, and he's like, are you uncomfortable, or you feel anything? And I was like, no. So I go back to texting. He was like, you sure? I was like, So he was like, cause you're like 5 centimeters. I was like, what? And he was like, uh-oh. I knew I wasn't going to be able to finish this video without him. Hold on. Okay, so I was like, he's like, yeah, you're 4 to 5 centimeters. So I was like, oh my God. So he was like, yeah, he gets on the phone in the room, and he's like calling the hospital. And I'm sitting there like, so that means I'm not going to finish what I have to do? Because I had an appointment the next day. Clients, and he was like, no, I don't think you're going to be able to make your appointment. And I was like, really? Then I was so funny. I said, this is really inconvenient. This is really inconvenient. And he was like, for who? So anyway, go to the doctor, and by the time I get there, he's like, well, go straight to the doctor right now. I'm like, yeah, okay. So anyway, I went home. Packed my bag, called my husband. He was with some clients. And he's like, well, what do you want me? He was texting me. He's like, well, what do you want me to do? You think I should come now? I was like, I don't know. Yeah, come on. So he meets me at the hospital. I go home first. I go home, pack my bag, get me something to eat. Talk to my oldest son for a minute, and then I had my girlfriend drive me to the hospital. My girlfriend was right up the street. Have her drive me to the hospital because it didn't make sense to have both vehicles at the hospital. We go to the hospital and get there, and now I'm another centimeter by the time I get there. Now, mind you, this is all in a very short period of time. Get there, check me in, get me in a room. Mind you, I already had a room, register, everything. So get there, and then they're like, well, you want an epidural? Now, by this time, I'm starting to feel a little crampy. Not bad at all. I'm like a little crampy. And so they're like, you want an epidural? I've never had epidural because with my other child, I had him natural because he came just like this one, so fast. And then I was like, it's happening so fast. I'm like, nah. As soon as the man was about to go out the door, I was like, no. you know what? I want one. You know, they offered it to me, why not? So he was like, all right, I'll come back. I'm like, okay. Sure enough, comes right back, gives me epidural, and he's telling me it's some Pitocin or something like that. And I'm like, okay, I'm good. So my husband and I were like, oh, we're going to watch whatever my husband really wanted to watch on TV. He was like, oh, good, we can watch our program. Some program he wanted to watch on TV. So he's sitting back, leaning back in a chair, and the doctor comes in. And right before he gave me the Pitocin, they gave me the epidural, and he started the Pitocin. And he says, this is all together, short amount of time. And he says, I'm going to come back a little later because the Pitocin is going to have a, it's going to take a minute to kick in. I was like, okay, no problem. I mean, I'm not going anywhere. So he said, okay, I'll be back. I was like, okay. Doctor comes back. It was 20 minutes later. 20 minutes. Because I glanced up at the clock to see what time it was when he said that. And when he came back in, I looked up at the clock and I said, Doc, it's only 20 minutes. And you're back already? And he says, yeah, I'm back because he said I was just happened to walk by. You know, I just want to check you. I was like, okay. I can't feel anything, okay? So he's like, can you move your legs? I'm like, no, I can't move my legs. So he, adjusts my legs. All of a sudden, chaos broke out. He's telling my husband, hold her leg, hold her leg. And I'm like, what? All of a sudden, he's like, oh, the head is right here. I'm like, really? He's like, you couldn't feel anything? I was like, Baby coming right on out. Now you're pushing. So he's like, push. He said push like 3 times, I think. And I remember the first time he said, push, push. My husband, he mouthed him to me. He was like, are you pushing? And I was like, I don't know. And I was like, I couldn't feel anything. And he kept asking, are you pushing? I was like, I don't know. So anyway, baby comes out. Just like that. Baby's healthy. So that was on April 5th. Went home the next week, which was April, I have in my notes, April the 12th, which would have been his 1 week appointment. We go and getting ready to take him to, like I said, 1 week appointment. Excuse me, I'm so congested. And all of a sudden, I started feeling funny. And when I say feeling funny, like I couldn't breathe right. Like I couldn't catch my breath or something. And my husband I was in the bathroom, and my husband was in the bedroom. It's adjoining. And he sees me walk by, and I come back up the steps, and he looks at me. It's so funny. He looks at me, and he was like, babe, what's wrong with you? And I was like, I just don't feel right. And all of a sudden, I sit down, we have an ottoman in the middle of our bathroom. And then he was like, you don't feel right. And he was like, you don't look so great. And all of a sudden, I kept doing this with my left arm. I have to stop again. I think I smell something. Hold on. So, my hand started feeling funny, and I didn't even realize I was doing some type of gesture on my hand or my arm or anything. As I was talking to him, and he was like, well, what's wrong with your hand? I was like, I don't know, it just feels kind of funny. Just like that, he's like, I'm taking you to the hospital, let's go. And, usually I would have been like, nah, Something in me was like, yeah, I need to go. Usually I'm real stubborn, I'm like, no. So, he's like, can you get downstairs by yourself? We have 2 flights of steps. And I was like, He helps me downstairs, puts me in the truck, gets the baby in the car seat. We head to the hospital, which is really close to our house. I don't even remember getting there. It happened so fast. Right to the ER. I remember somebody from the ambulance driver somewhere came out of nowhere and helped me into a, what do you call those things? Wheelchair, and wheeled me into the ER. And, long story short, he will start up again. You see me right here. Brycey. He's sleepy. Come on. Okay. So, get into the ER, and all of a sudden, I asked one of the ER doctors that was in there, because I had so many people working on me. It was like a scene out of the TV show, out of the movies. I mean, so many people was poking me and taking my clothes off and talking to me and asking me a whole bunch of questions, and and I just so happened to ask one person, one doctor, and I said, well, what's happening to me? What's going on? And he looked at me. He was real calm, and he said, you're having a heart attack. And it was wild. And I just remember looking at him. I was like, am I going to die? And that was the last thing I remember. And my husband and Bryce was in the room with me, and my husband says I flatlined right then and there, and they brought me back, obviously. Excuse me. They brought me back and rushed me into surgery, and I have 4 stents in my heart. And the reason being, my cardiologist said that it's very rare, but a lot of all the stress from being pregnant causes to my heart, and all this strenuous, it's real strenuous in your heart being pregnant, and they said that's why it occurred. So I spent time in ICU, which was really hard. I mean, just having a baby, a week old. Look at her. And now all of a sudden I'm away from him, my husband, and my other kids and everything. It was pretty hard. And so that's why I didn't make any videos right after I came home, or right after I had him. Been recuperating, and I was on a lot of medication, y'all, a whole lot. And they're just getting my dosages together, and even now, I think the other medication, because I had high blood pressure and I had so much medication, it was crazy, which I didn't find out until all this happened. Pressure skyrocketed. But I'm off the blood pressure medicine. But anyway, now they're trying to figure out what to do about this vertigo, because that's a whole other condition that I didn't have before, but I have now. And I had another episode today. And vertigo is basically when you, it feels like you're on this merry-go-round. Have you ever been on a merry-go-round when you were little? And it just spins and spins and spins. And that's what it feels like. You're always just spinning. But you're standing still, but you're spinning. And I had another episode today. So I'm trying to work on that too. Okay. Alright, y'all. But just wanted to come in and update you guys. Like I said, I'm sorry that it took so long, but now you understand. Sorry that I'm not feeling well, but I did not want to put it off for another week, another 2 weeks, or another month and say I'm going to do it. Even though I'm feeling bad, I'm like, I could push forward and I can do it. So, again, this is Shonda from Growing Family of 5. Please leave me your comments. And I want to thank all my new subscribers. Even though I wasn't even posting. Ooh, he got a cold too. Even though I wasn't even posting any new videos, I had some new subscribers, which I thought was fantastic. I can't believe it. Yay, thanks guys. And if you like my updates, push the like button. Talk to y'all later. Bye.